Imagine you're Maverick from Top Gun Maverick. You're the best pilot, training new pilots for an impossible mission. What makes you special isn't superhuman flying abilities, it's your incredible piloting skills, lightning-fast decision-making, and unwavering loyalty to your team. These are your natural talents, your real-life superpowers. Now, picture yourself in your own life. You're facing your own challenges every day. So here's a question. What special abilities do you have that can help you face these challenges and make a real difference in your life? In other words, have you figured out what makes you uniquely awesome? We all have natural strengths, things we're good at without trying too hard. These are our superpowers, and knowing them is key to success in life. Natural strengths can be many things. You might be great at solving problems, coming up with new ideas, understanding other people's feelings, or leading a team. Maybe you're a quick learner, good at sports, or great with words. These are all valuable skills. Knowing your strengths is so important because it helps you find situations where you have a natural advantage to do well and win. If you're creative, you might thrive in jobs that need fresh ideas. If you're a people person, you could excel in roles where you're helping or leading others. Using your natural strengths gives you a huge advantage. It's like having a secret weapon that others don't possess. There's a famous quote by Albert Einstein, who said, "Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." This quote perfectly illustrates why knowing your strengths is so important. If you're a fish, but you keep trying to climb trees, you'll always feel like you're failing. But once you discover your unique set of strengths and put yourself in situations where those strengths are valuable, you'll start to see just how awesome you really are. So, how do you find your superpowers? Let's look at how some famous people discovered theirs. Take J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books. Before she became famous, Rowling was struggling. She was unhappy in her job, dealing with a failed marriage, and raising her daughter as a single mom. But through all this, she discovered her strength in storytelling. Rowling had loved writing stories since she was a kid. Even when life got tough, she found herself wanting to write. She started working on the idea for Harry Potter during a delayed train ride, and soon realized she enjoyed writing her novel more than anything else in her life. This was a huge clue about her natural talent. Another great example is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Most people know him as a successful actor, but his journey to success wasn't straightforward. In his early 20s, Johnson was cut from the Canadian Football League and found himself back at his parents' house with only $7 to his name. It was a low point, but it led him to discover his true strengths. Johnson realized that his natural charisma, physical abilities, and work ethic were his real superpowers. He decided to pursue professional wrestling. Despite initial setbacks, Johnson didn't quit. He worked tirelessly on developing his persona, The Rock, leveraging his natural charisma and quick wit to connect with the audience. His ability to read the crowd, adapt his performance, and entertain fans showcased his strengths in communication and performance. These skills, combined with his incredible work ethic, not only made him a wrestling superstar, but also paved the way for his successful transition to Hollywood. Here's a simple way to start finding your own strengths. Pay close attention to what you enjoy doing that might be useful in a job or career. What activities make you lose track of time? What do people often praise you for? These are big clues about your natural talents. Remember, finding your strengths often means trying lots of different things. Join clubs, try new hobbies, volunteer for your community. The more you try, the more chances you have to discover hidden talents. Don't worry if you haven't found all your strengths yet. You discover some sooner and some later with each new experience in life. Once you know your strengths, it's time to get even better at them. Let's consider the story of Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba and one of the richest people in the world. Jack Ma's journey is a perfect example of how developing your natural strengths can lead to extraordinary success. Ma wasn't a tech genius or a business prodigy. In fact, he failed his university entrance exam twice and was rejected from dozens of jobs, including KFC. But Ma had a natural talent that would prove invaluable. He was an excellent English speaker in a time when that was rare in China. Ma discovered this strength almost by accident. As a teenager, he started volunteering as an English tour guide for foreign visitors to his hometown. He loved meeting new people and practicing his English, often cycling for 40 minutes each day to the hotel where he'd meet tourists, rain or shine. This strength in English opened doors for Ma. He became an English teacher, which allowed him to learn about the internet earlier than most people in China. When he first used the internet in 1995, he immediately saw its potential for businesses in China. Ma's real superpower, however, was his ability to inspire others and think long-term. He wasn't a technical expert, but he had a vision of how the internet could transform China's economy. He used his communication skills to gather a team of talented individuals who could turn his vision into reality. Here's what you can do to develop your own strengths. First, practice your strength a little bit every day. If you're good at public speaking, find opportunities at school or work where you can regularly talk to groups of people. If you're creative, spend time each day designing, writing, or brainstorming ideas. But don't stop there. Look for real-life situations to use your strengths. If you're good at solving problems, offer to help with an ongoing issue at school, work, or in your community. Using your strengths in real life is where you'll see the most growth and where new opportunities will start opening up for you. Now, what about the things you're not so good at? It's important to know your weaknesses too. To find them, think about tasks you often avoid or struggle with. Ask friends or family for honest feedback about areas where you're not as good. Once you know your weaknesses, you have two main options: working on improving them, or find ways to work around them. This is where teamwork becomes really important. Think about Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak when they started Apple. Jobs was great at coming up with ideas and marketing, but he wasn't good at building computers. Wozniak was brilliant at engineering, but shy about business stuff. By working together, they made up for each other's weaknesses and built an amazing company. Another great example is Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. Branson is dyslexic, which made learning in school very difficult for him. Instead of letting his weaknesses hold him back, Branson focused on his strengths, his people skills, his creativity, and his willingness to take risks. Branson recognized that his dyslexia actually contributed to some of his strengths. It forced him to become an excellent delegator and communicator. He learned to simplify complex information and ideas, which helped him both in managing his businesses and in explaining his vision to others. Rather than trying to overcome his weakness by forcing himself to read long reports or handle detailed paperwork, Branson surrounded himself with people who were strong in these areas. This allowed him to focus on what he did best: coming up with new ideas, making bold business moves, and being the face of the Virgin brand. Here's what you can do. Pick one weakness that's holding you back. Maybe it's math, public speaking, or planning. Then, think of ways to either get better at it or find a teammate or coworker whose strengths balance out your weakness. Remember, you don't need to be perfect at everything. The goal is to prevent weaknesses from stopping you from reaching your goals. So, are you ready to unleash your inner maverick? Your unique combination of strengths is waiting to be discovered. Remember, true success isn't about being good at everything. It's about becoming awesome at what you're naturally good at and finding smart ways to stop your weaknesses from holding you back. Start paying attention to what comes naturally to you, what energizes you, and what people praise you for. Once you've found your superpowers, use them every chance you get. The more you use them, the stronger they'll become, and the more you'll be winning at life. If you're ready to make positive changes in your life, we have a lot more life-changing tips and tricks coming your way. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss them.